All right, what do we have here? Another one in from Urban EDC Supply. This one's got my info on it, so let me do some of this off screen here. Trusty Demco. Oh, one of my favorites. Super excited. Dude, I love this company, Urban EDC Supply. You rock. I don't know what kind of cool thing that is, but I'm sure you do because you're cooler than me. So look, you've probably seen my video by now, or maybe you haven't, where I mentioned I thought the Divo Stout was like one of the best all-around knives of 2022. And so, you know me, if you've been watching this channel, that doesn't mean I can just buy one. And especially because I'm not like a big coated knife guy. I actually got that one when the stonewashed one was not available. So, spoiler alert on what this is going to be. Love their leather pouch. They do a really nice job on that. Love how they include all the extra hardware, an extra pivot bearing, extra bearings, like or extra pivot hardware, extra bearings. Dude, these guys just, I mean, at the price that they're charging, they should. I mentioned that in another video. But wanted to get this stonewashed version also and see how I liked it. So let's see. Let's try to answer that question. All right, initial impressions. A lot of what I liked about the other one, some things I like better about this. There's maybe like a slightly higher, I was gonna say sense of quality, but I don't know if that's really the case. Looks like a different pattern, so that's kind of interesting. This one looks like it's got a, oh, I guess over here it's just as tight. It must be some sort of randomized thing. I like this finish in some ways because like it has this crazy inflection in the light. In other ways it's not really my style because it's kind of loud looking, I guess. It's like a little Ed Hardy for me in some ways. I got a kid, he's 3. I'm not trying to prove anything with my knives. Just use them and enjoy them and study them and flip them open because that's what this particular model does extremely well. That's interesting. This one is at the top not as drop shutty. The bottom very drop shutty. This one feels very, not very different, but different in some ways. That's interesting. Let's see. The lockup is good there. Nice stonewashed finish. I don't like it as much as I like the Demco one. It looks a little, what's the right term for it? A little cheaper. Is it stonewashed? Or is it stonewashed, or is it, yeah, it's stonewashed. I was gonna say, is it like not bead blasted, but it looks almost kind of like tumbled or something, but it says stonewashed. So I guess the Demco one's tumbled. This one's a little tight at the top. The other one I have does not have that. Feels like it might loosen up though. The other thing I like about it though is the feel on deployment, like slightly more solid. When this one pops open, there's like a little bit of a, I don't, the term isn't a rattle, but like, I don't know what the right term is for it. This one feels a little better in that sense. Let's see what else. Can it wheel open okay? Yes. Is it as good as this one? I've been playing around with this one for a few days, but it's pretty much just as good. It's got, is it the same detent? Same detent pretty much. Maybe slightly harder. It's centered well. Might be a touch off center actually. Let's take a look. Might be a touch off center to the show side here. What do you think? Yeah, I think it's just a touch off center there. This one I feel like is dead center. And that might be all playing into why things are not quite as smooth on this one. Once you get past like there, it's drop shut. Deployment is still great. In a way, I'm not actually sure which one's the right one because this one feels a little more predictable. This one's like a little too drop shutty almost, where it's like, get out of the way, because if this thing, like, you see how fast that comes down, like a little fast on the finger there. So in a way it's maybe better. I don't know. How's the edge on this thing? Nice. Well, the main reason I wanted the stone washed is because like I can't stand actually using a, this is called black washed. Maybe this is different. It would kind of get like more of a working finish look to it once you use it a little bit, but this to me, like you go use it a bunch and you just wipe it off and it'll generally look fine. Maybe you'll get a couple scratches in it, but I just prefer more of a metallic finish, whether it's stonewash, bead blast, tumbled, satin, pretty much any of them. I prefer to like a DLC black or one of the many PVC coated. There's so many options. Yeah, everything works well though. There's just kind of little, it seems like it's actually working in, so. Yeah, maybe that one was like that too, I don't remember. Seems like it's working in. I wouldn't be concerned about it, we'll just say that. Even as is here, yeah, now it's starting to pretty much drop shut. Oops. Not the best thumb stud, or not thumb stud, but like thumb deployment, but it's not bad. Sometimes I miss it, especially if I'm throwing it upward. I'm normally going to be deploying a knife like this, but on the video I have to hold it upward, and if you go like this, you'll probably get it. If you go like this, probably not. So, right? Do it like this, you're going to have some trouble. This way you're not fighting gravity as much. So yeah, now it seems like it's pretty drop shutty. So maybe that one worked in like that too, and I just don't remember it. There we go again. Now this one's got like a little, this one's got some serious friction up front. It may actually need some oil in it or something. So that's, I don't know if that's a QA thing or what's going on there, but that's actually some like pretty rough friction I'm feeling there. This does not feel like that. This one has some friction, but it's not as bad as this. Oh, let's just stop talking about it and see if we can do something about it. Is that a T8? And I'm just kind of curious, like I almost want to take this knife apart just to learn a little more about it. Lockup's still good. I feel like this knife maybe didn't get oiled or something. It's the best way I can describe it. Sorry, I'm just taking a sec to kind of look in there and see what's going on. Yeah, I don't know. Just throw a little oil in there, see what happens. Yeah, feels better. Yeah. So, I don't know. Maybe I just didn't get the factory QA that it needed. But that feels pretty good now. It's still sticking a bit though. Overall, really nice knife. Definitely a big fan. Interesting how different these two came out on the looks here. I don't know if these are different. I'm pretty sure those are both the same, like aluminum infused carbon. It says the same thing, aluminum infused carbon fiber stonewash versus aluminum infused carbon fiber black wash. I do like the Divo Knives logo more on the stonewashed one. See if I can get my camera to adjust here. So annoying. I don't know if it's the iPhone or what, but it just never seems to want to do what you would expect it to. I do like this more than that. That just looks really cheap to me. I don't know if it's like white or what, but yeah, just, I mean, if it was like kind of pearlized white, I could get with it, but this looks more high quality to me than that look. So I think again that comes with like a black replacement for it. I'm gonna double check how exactly that works and if I'm understanding that right, and probably swap it if so. You know, really a style of knife that I'm excited about right now in general. I can't help but be kind of annoyed by this being wider than the handle. That's the one thing I'll say. That's the thing I'd also say about like the Spyderco, is that kind of annoys me about the look of the Spyderco too. Blade being wider than the handle is, you know, I guess okay on like a kitchen knife, but it feels very weird to me on a pocket knife. I'm not sure I can really explain the why behind that, but with the Demco, it's really sort of a uniform thickness the whole way, and you have obviously their clip point version that I think is even more well balanced looking. I think that's a really well balanced looking blade to handle tallness ratio, height ratio. I don't know what the right term is. That is like the one thing that just kind of annoys me here, is it just so Spyderco-y. And I do think, although this gives you a nice purchase for like draw cuts and utility cuts and the thumb, I'd probably just rather this not point up in the front. I think they're doing that stylistically a little bit. They call it like the sheep's poon or whatever. Sheep's spoon or sheep's poon, however you want to pronounce it. It's one word. And there's some elements that I kind of like about it, but it's not my favorite look. I think this is a much better looking knife. Just the balance and the style. I'd say probably for most of you, you'd probably resonate more with this version of it, the titanium. Or maybe like the G10 shark's foot or something, but yeah, just a little funny looking to me. Very utilitarian. You know, if you like follow what Lefty ADC does, which I've just started watching some of his stuff, like I know why he designed it this way. Like it's totally his style. There's a huge advantage in this choke up point. I think it's like one of the best choke up points I've ever felt. I think it is the best, actually. I'll just say that. I think for a choke up point, it's better than any other knife I have. I cannot think of one at least that has a better one. This is not bad though. This is very good also. The Demco one is a more minimalist one that works, which I love. That's, you know, Demco's just got this thing freaking dialed for usability. It's an interesting knife though, and I feel like this, you see how knives influence knives. You look at what this did, and then you get the Wii Vision R that's come out and stuff. Knives influence knives, so I feel like this one has a great opportunity to potentially have people open their eyes a little bit and go, what should we be doing a little differently? Because I think this is gonna make an impact. I think this version of the handle is probably not my favorite. I probably should get the, you know, I have the F5.5 here in the, not denim micarta, but it's actually called a blue micarta, but it looks pretty much like a dark gray or a black micarta. Like I could see that knife being a little more my style with the micarta, even though I'm not a big micarta guy. It's less expensive, it's more utilitarian, and it doesn't look as funny to me. So let's throw this in the mix here. Another, you know, kind of comparable knife to this. But again, there's a little more balance in this knife to me. Like you look at the overall shape of the top of it, the overall shape of the bottom of it, and there's this like continuity to this knife that is cosmetically more appealing than the sort of lack of continuity of this knife. Like if you're gonna do this here, you almost wanna do it here in the back end as well or something. There's some like imbalance to this a little bit. Now the knife itself is actually well balanced, don't get me wrong, but there's some like cosmetic imbalance to this that is kind of an opportunity, maybe. You could just do this whole thing like a little shorter, I think, and move this down. And this doesn't have to like come right off the top, does it? I guess maybe it does for usability. Most knives are gonna, you know, kind of have this continuity here. I don't know, maybe you just carve this whole thing up more and have this be shorter here and take like 20% off of that. I don't know, it has its place. In its own way, it's unique too. So like, I don't want to like just say these are like necessary changes, but maybe opportunities for other knives that they make. Actually, a lot of the knives that I've seen they're making, they don't look like this. So I haven't really dug deep into some of the other Divo knives that are coming out, but this is kind of a unique one. So yeah, overall, cool. Good to have the Stonewash version. It'd feel like something I could go put to the test out in the field, and a very cool knife. So wow, we're gonna keep this one under 20 minutes, not a 30 or 40-minute video. I will leave it at that for now because I've already talked a lot about this knife in the blackwashed version video. And yeah, please like, subscribe. Thanks for stopping by, and I will see you on the next one. Take care.